Have you ever heard the saying that smart minds shape the world? I personally do not believe in it, and in our times, in our generation, it is completely a lie. Take Elon Musk for an example. Yes, indeed, he's a very smart person, but compared to the most smartest man on our planet with the highest IQ, why couldn't that man achieve as much as Elon Musk? Matter of fact, do you even know the name of the guy who is the most smartest with the most IQ? No. Most of us don't. Even I don't. So what has caused this problem? Why are some smart people achieving the things that they do? Getting the wealth, the status, the power, the respect. But some smart people are still struggling with fixing their own lives. What is the problem that is causing this in our society? Because, you see, if you take the ancient societies, that saying might have been very true. In the ancient times, the smart people did shape the society and they did build the architecture around the society that which we follow. Because it is true, not everyone can be smart, not everyone is supposed to be smart, that's how society works. But if the ancient people, if in the ancient societies, if every smart person could make a great impact on society, why couldn't the smart people of today's generation do it? I personally know guys who can just sit, alright, read everything in a book and they can literally tell what is it and speak about that for hours and hours and hours, but they are still struggling. Why? Because when you take the problem of an individual, if one single individual faces a problem, it is his own problem, right? His habits, his behaviors, his mind might have caused that problem. But if a whole generation of men are facing a problem, it's not their habits, it's not the mind, it's not their lifestyle that is the root cause of all these problems. But it is the evil manipulation and influence of the society that is causing this problem. Do you know that most people who have reached the top don't want others at the top, right? Because if I'm winning, I don't want my enemy to win. That is business. I understand it very well. I'm winning, I don't want you to win. Simple. That's business, right? That's how society has worked. That's how the kings worked. So the people at the top, they don't want more people at the top. They don't want strong men standing against them and telling that what you're doing is wrong and we will fight against it. They want weak men who comply with whatever that is okay for them. They want weak men who says, oh yes sir, okay sir, I'll do it sir, no problem, yeah. They don't want strong men. They don't want kings out there shaping the world. So they know that the smartness, the intelligence of the mind cannot be destroyed unless the true thinking of the mind has been destroyed. Right? So if you are discussing two smart people at a time, Elon Musk and the most smartest man on the planet, what is the difference between these two? The most smartest man on the planet just simply has knowledge, IQ levels. But Elon Musk on the other hand, he's got thinking. He thinks like an emperor. He thinks like a king. Right? So it is inside every single man, the innate desire of a man to have power, status, wealth, respect. My mind really tells me every single day, I cannot die as anything less than king, less than emperor. I cannot do it. It is my duty to be the best version of myself. And it is your duty to stand up against evil, to stand up and destroy the things that are destroying our societies. Take every social reform of history. Those people lived in the most destroyed societies of all time. Those people lived in times where society was crumbling. And those people changed it. They were not only smart in their minds, but they were also strong and capable in their minds. They were capable of thinking, to fight, to know when to fight and when not to fight. They know how to think. They knew it. But how is the thinking of men today being destroyed? Number one, by corporate jobs. Number two, by society. So first let's talk about corporate jobs, right? Let's talk about slavery. This idea came into my mind when I was writing my social science examination a few days ago. So I was writing something and I had to mention something about slavery. The idea hit me at that spot and I knew I had to talk about this. I had to let the people know about this, right? So me and my friends were discussing it, blah, 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 etc., etc. Has slavery truly been destroyed in our society? Has slavery been completely abolished? No, it is not. Back in those days, the peasants worked lesser than you. You work every single day almost, except for weekends. Some companies allow you to have fun in the weekend so you can destroy yourself even more. But most companies, they just want to exploit all the energies, all the thing that you have inside of your body and mind and use it for their own purpose. They don't care a single thing about you. To them, you're just a battery. You're just a form of energy. That's it. You're just a slave. But Kanishram, how do you say that slavery is still in today's world? Well, we have free will. We can do whatever we want, right? Well, do you truly have free will? Do you truly have free will, brother? Well, it is true. Back in those days, the slaves had no free will. They had to do what they were told to do. And in return back, they were given food and shelter. That's it. Right? Food and shelter and some clothes. That's it. And if the person above them was a bit kind-hearted, he gave them some stuff for fun. Right? Let's take today's society now. It is true. You're given free will. You can work in a company. You can work in job. Do whatever you can work your 9 to 5 jobs. It is good. Okay, fine. They don't make you a slave. You're not forced to do anything. Right? But you're not given the money and food and shelter. You're just given just the money. Right? You're given just the money. Not the food and shelter. So using that money, you can buy the food and shelter. Yeah, free will. That's where problem 2 comes in. The manipulation and influence of society. The society has manipulated men into spending their currency, their worked time equal to money, into their own benefits and profits. Advertising is making you chase objects you don't need, making you work jobs you hate so you can buy stuff you don't even truly need. You're being manipulated, brother. I'm quoting Fight Club right now. Right? Those who watched the movie know what I'm talking about. You are not being yourself. You're being a product of what the society puts into your mind and what your boss tells you to do. That's how your thing is being destroyed. Well, you might ask, I'm still in school, alright? I'm still in school. And I have to do certain things the way the teachers tell me to. You know why? Let me tell you one thing. The school system, the education system of today's world, it's really bad. It is destroyed. That is the truth. Someone blindly following the education system cannot make it out to the top in life, and that is indeed true. But why do I still do those things? Why do I still stay in school? Why do I still study? Number 1, I like history. Number 2, the other basics like maths, language, science, they are just basic knowledge. Do you understand? Everyone has to know this knowledge. But the people at the top and the people at the bottom have a difference in what they know. So for me to reach the top, I have to know what is at the bottom. Do you understand? So that I can reach the top by knowing etc., 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 etc. Now I'm at the top. But I also know this. You can't get here without being here. So if you're talking about the 9 to 5 jobs, the corporate jobs, the evil manipulation of society, you have to be there. Because we are not born kings. As men, we are truly not born kings in today's world. Well, some people at the top, they might be born prince and princesses and as kings. But we, brother, we are not born kings. We are born to build an empire. We are born to create that empire in which we create kings. We are not kings, but one day we will be. One day the world will know my name. And yours too. If you put in the work and if you have the will of fire to have your name etched into the books of history. Now ask yourself. So if You are the base lines of society. You are the basement, like the low tier versions of society where you're just being a slave to companies, to society, to other people. When was the last time you ever sat and thought to yourself that, what am I even doing with this life? Do I truly even want this? Most of the time, you're not doing it. You are absolutely not doing it in today's time. When you have free time, you're just scrolling. When you have even more free time, you're just watching television. Right? So for example, let's take my mindset as an example. Whenever I'm watching television with my family, whenever some stupid garbage information that society tries to feed people through movies comes in, I instantly tell my mind, no, you're not allowing that, Commander. Send that idiot out. He's not even coming into the boundaries. It's out of the boundary now. Whenever I'm listening to some songs, as just like, I don't listen to certain songs because of what they say in those songs. Because I understand how music can influence a man's mind, and it has a bigger impact on your mind. So you have to learn a lot of music if you want to stay away from the problems of society, the evil manipulation of society. When I'm listening to a stupid line in a song, I instantly tell my mind, nope, I'm not doing it. Because why? I'm a king. I don't do those things. No, out of it. Out of my region. You evil. Get out of my region. So, what is the whole point of this mind frame? The whole point of my mind frame that sends evil out is to make sure that I have my mind under my control. I have my own thinking under my own control. And I have the whole of my life under my own control. My own empire, my own life. That is how the smart people shape the world. Not by reading ton of books and not taking actions. Not by obeying what your authoritative power says and working like a slave. Because most smart people are being slave. Because they know that smart people can do a lot. But if we allow them to think, oh no, we are doomed. So we can't do that. That's how the people at the top think. They don't want that. They want you destroyed. They want you exploited for their own purpose. And I don't like that. Because it is my society. It is my duty to destroy the evil in my society. And as a man, you must think that way. As a man, you must do that. Because when you take the armies, the kings, the empires, whatever good has happened in society, men have sacrificed and given their lives for the good cause of society, and those men are the ones that are remembered in today's world. The men like Ambedkar, the men like Alexander, the men like Napoleon, the men like the Cholas, the Pandyas, the men like the Arabian kings. All those people had a similar idea. A bigger, better nation for the betterment of the next generation. That is what we in the War House live by. We are not just living for ourselves. Whatever we do, most of the things we do in the War House, it's not for us. It's for the benefit of the society that is given by us. And we have pride in it. Whenever we try to do fun, happy stuff, we don't even feel fun at all. I personally don't even feel fun at all. I feel the happiness and the proudness that you get from doing your fun activities like scrolling Instagram, going to parties, drinking alcohol, doing your stupid shit. I get my fun from feeling proud of myself. It is a rule in our War House that we have to do 20 squats or push-ups every single day. We hate to do it, apart from our training. But we will do it. That's how we are. So it is utterly and absolutely your responsibility to take control of your thinking and make your life not for the betterment of yourself, but for the betterment of society as a man. So it is your duty to be the best version of yourself and make sure you fulfill that duty like a man.